Some people are losing part of their state pension without realising it's happening. In fact, over 400,000 British pensioners living abroad have had their payments frozen at the level they were years ago, missing out on thousands of pounds. And that's just one way your state pension can be affected. Here's how to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Hit that like button, subscribe for more pension content, and comment below if you've been affected by any of these issues. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when your state pension can be reduced, stopped, or affected, and more importantly, how to avoid losing money you're entitled to. I'm going to give you 4 key situations that can impact your pension, and the final one might surprise you because it's something millions of people could accidentally do. There's also a game-changing insight at the end about protecting your full entitlement. Here's what's at stake. The full new state pension is worth £230.25 a week from April 2025. That's £11,973 a year. Missing out on even part of that can seriously impact your retirement. Let's start with the biggest misconception. You cannot be permanently disqualified from your state pension just for making mistakes or having gaps in your record. The state pension isn't something that gets taken away like a driving license. However, there are specific situations where it can be reduced, stopped temporarily, or frozen at a lower amount. The first situation is national insurance gaps. You need at least 10 qualifying years to get any state pension at all, and 35 full years to get the maximum amount. If you've got gaps in your national insurance record, perhaps from time spent caring for family, studying, or living abroad, your pension will be proportionally reduced. Here's the good news: you can fill those gaps by paying voluntary contributions. Each missing year costs around £900, but it can add over £300 to your annual pension. That's a payback period of about 3 years. You can normally fill gaps going back 6 tax years, and you should check your national insurance record online through your personal tax account on gov.uk. The deadline to fill older gaps from 2006 to 2016 has now passed as of April 5th, 2025. If you've got recent gaps, though, you can still act. The key is to check your forecast and work out whether paying voluntary contributions will actually increase your pension before you hand over any money. The second situation that catches people out is moving abroad to certain countries. If you retire to a country without a reciprocal agreement with the UK, your state pension will be frozen at the rate it was when you first claimed it or when you moved. This affects over 400,000 British pensioners, mostly in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, and many other Commonwealth countries. Someone who moved abroad 15 years ago with a pension of about £5,000 a year would still be receiving that amount now. Meanwhile, someone who stayed in the UK would be getting over £11,000. That's a loss of over £25,000 over 15 years. However, if you move to the European Union, Switzerland, the USA, or certain other countries with agreements, your pension continues to increase each year with the triple lock. If you're planning to retire abroad, check the gov.uk website to see if your chosen country has an uprating agreement. The list is very specific, and even some British territories like the Falkland Islands don't have one. Here's something important. If you move from a frozen country to one with an agreement or back to the UK, your pension will be uprated to the current UK rate going forward. You won't get backdated increases, but at least future rises will apply. The third situation is imprisonment. This one's straightforward. You cannot claim state pension whilst you're in prison. If you're convicted and sentenced, your state pension payments stop completely during your time in custody. The only exception is if you're on remand and not convicted, in which case you'll receive all your pension back payments in a lump sum when you're released. As if you are convicted, payments restart once you're released, but you'll need to contact the pension service and provide a discharge notification. Importantly, Time spent in prison creates gaps in your national insurance record. Unless you pay voluntary contributions after release, you have up to 6 years to make up these contributions. This is worth knowing because those gaps could reduce your state pension entitlement in future. Now, here's the fourth situation, and it's one that surprises most people: failing to claim your state pension. Your state pension is not automatic. You must actively claim it, even though you've paid national insurance contributions for decades. Around 4 months before you reach state pension age, you'll receive a letter with an invitation code telling you how to claim. And if you don't claim, your pension simply doesn't get paid. Now, some people choose to defer deliberately because you get an increase of 1% for every 9 weeks you wait. That works out as 5.8% more per year if you defer for 12 months. But others miss out accidentally because they didn't realise they had to claim, or they lost track of the paperwork. There's no deadline to claim, so you can apply whenever you're ready. If you've already passed your state pension age and haven't claimed, you can backdate your claim by up to 12 months. Here's the game-changing insight. The one thing that protects your full state pension entitlement more than anything else is checking your national insurance record now, not later. Log into your personal tax account on gov.uk and look at your state pension forecast. It'll show you exactly how many qualifying years you have, what gaps exist, and what your pension will be. If you find gaps, you can get a statement showing how much it would cost to fill them and how much extra pension you'd get. This single check could be worth thousands of pounds over your retirement. Don't assume your record is complete just because you've been working. Mistakes happen. Employers sometimes don't process contributions correctly, and gaps from self-employment or low earnings are common. And like this video if it's helped you understand when your state pension can be affected. Subscribe for more pension advice and breakdowns of UK benefits. Comment below with any questions about your own situation or share if you've been caught out by any of these issues. Next week, we'll be covering how to boost your state pension if you're in your 50s.